We're all going on this trip together. You came into this room, so you cannot help but be free. Together, I speak my word for myself, my center, and all its members and friends. I know love as the only reality. I am created out of love. Love is what I am. I know this love as absolute freedom in every moment of my life, my center, and all who call it home. I know our center's mortgages are paid in full, and I claim for all of us financial freedom with all debts paid and cleared. I release any sense of struggle or wrongdoing. I live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. We experience freedom in every moment by always having more than enough money, vibrant health, and loving relationships. We are who we have come here to be. With hearts open wide, we see the world through the eyes of love. We are blessed, we are rich, and we are free. And so it is. And we practice our points of power. I always pay attention. I always tell the truth and tell it quickly. I always ask for what I want when I want it. I always take total responsibility for my experience, and I always keep my agreements. And so it is. So it is. Wonderful, wonderful. Those of you who were not here last week, we had one of our members who is moving, who just was here, actually has moved this week, who stood up on the stage and shared how she, through her 2 years of being here and a lot of inner work, is completely debt-free. I had someone else come up to me who said in 2 months she will be on this stage sharing how she is completely debt-free. We coupled this with a lot of forgiveness work. And I had someone else in this center who had their house on the market for years and years and years, who did some intensive forgiveness work with some key people. There's a contract on the house. If you do the inner work, the outer must come into alignment with it. And if you choose freedom, which means that you see the world through the eyes of love, money is never the issue, money is a byproduct. Money is an after effect. If you choose freedom in your life and you do the inner work to release everyone else to be free, to see through the eyes of love, you will demonstrate that freedom in myriad ways, and people will look at you and go, wow, have you seen her? Have you seen him? Their life has totally changed because you totally changed. So I invite you on the journey. For me, it's the only journey there is. Growth and expansion and love and joy, which brings me back to my topic this morning, which is, who are you? I find it to be the first, at least one of the top 2 or 3 questions that we ask ourselves as we embark upon the spiritual path and regularly thereafter. Who are we? Oftentimes it's coupled with what's going on. And you know there are 3 letters that will summarize that as a little social media blurb that go around a lot. WTF? What's going on? What's happening here? Who am I? What is life about? What is happening here? Throw it in there in a spiritual path with, and what is this outside power? And is it outside? Is it inside? What is the inside power? Who am I? What is going on? And what is this power and presence? I don't know about you, but I felt that presence from an early age, and I longed for it. I didn't find it in my house. I didn't find it in my life. I didn't find it in the church I was raised in, but I felt it and I longed for it. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know how to get it. I didn't know what to do until I finally learned that it was not anywhere to go to get, that it was something that I had to open up to within me. And that was a game changer, because if it was within me, if that which I always wanted was already inside of me, then oh my gosh, who am I? Who am I that could house this love and this light, this presence and this joy? Who am I? How can the girl, the teenager, the woman that I experienced myself to be in as the circumstances in my life, how could I come anywhere close to being the vessel to hold that love and that light and that joy? And so this is a very important question. Who am I? Am I my past? Am I my mother's daughter, my father's daughter? Am I my sibling's sister? Am I the child in the grade school? Am I the kids that the parents of the neighboring houses yell at to get out of their yard? Who am I? Who am I? It is a critical question. And as we move into these ideas, I want to just bring up the idea that Jesus said, ye are the light of the world. Now he also said, get the bushel off your head. You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. And as we move into the closing out of this season for intentional peace, Gandhi said you must be the change that you want to see in the world. And then Dr. King said, darkness cannot overcome darkness. Only light can overcome darkness. And Jesus said, you are the light of the world. And Gandhi said, you must be the change that you want to experience in life. And the only thing that can lift up the darkness is your light. And you are the light of the world, and you must be that. We can no longer afford to hide our light. We can no longer afford to labor under the delusion that we are separate, that we are alone, that we are helpless or hopeless, and that all of the power is outside of us, whether it's given to a deity, or whether it's given to governments or militaries or GMO companies, or the person with the dog next door, or whoever we've chosen to give our power away to. We can no longer operate under the delusion that we do not have the light that the world is asking for. And who is the world but us? That we are looking for, we are looking at, we are looking with, we are looking as. We are the light, we are the love. Who are you? I know sometimes when it appears that I've gotten myself in a pickle and I'm looking at things that appear to be problems without solutions, I have to get clear inside of myself. In the science of mind, what we learn is that whatever spirit is, whatever the divine is, whatever that creative force is, it is all that there is. It is all of time and space and beyond. It is all that we are, all that we have ever been, and all that we will ever be. And so if there is a solution somewhere, which there has to be, because you can't have a problem without a solution, they're two halves of the same coin. The problem is simply the unfinished solution. It just hasn't finished into solution yet. So if there is a solution, then I am a part of it, and it is a part of me, and it's up to me to remember that whatever that is, I am. That whatever spirit is, I am. That I am made out of that infinite light and love of the divine. And Robert Browning said, you know, you can desecrate the spark of the divine, and God knows we all have, but you can never get rid of it. And I translate that into a barbarism that says, you can't screw this up. You just can't. No matter what you've ever done, you cannot stop being the light. You cannot stop being perfect in every way. But sometimes we have to get a hold of ourselves and really look at that. Is this real? Oh, I can't do that. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough years yet. Is that true? Or is the entire essence of spirit manifest as you, perfect, whole, and complete in every way, and has everything that it needs to do whatever it is you choose to do? Spirit showing up as you. God don't make no junk. Spirit showed up as you. You have everything that you need, and all is well. And so when I look at myself, sometimes I have wonderful science of mind concepts go through me. That I am a vessel and a portal of the infinite love of Spirit to pour forth through me at every moment. And so as I'm going through my day, it's kind of like, I have all of this infinite love pouring through me. And I don't have to find it, I don't have to get it, I don't have to sit in therapy, I don't have to wonder why I didn't get it from my parents. I love that from Yolanda King. Just because I had these people as my parents didn't make me them. I had to be me, and I had to find myself, and we all have to do that. We all have to find ourselves in the midst of circumstances of life. But the truth of us is that infinite love pours through us, that we are a vessel and we are a portal of this love to move through us into our lives, that every cell in our body is a part of Spirit, which means every cell in our body not only is perfect, whole, and complete, but it has the wisdom and the intelligence of God itself as that cell. Illness has no place in our lives. That's a mirage, that's a delusion. That's something that we made up, that if we allow ourselves to get, who am I? I have cells in my body that have light radiating out from them. They have little happy faces on them, and they dance together with other cells to form tissues and organs and bones and muscles and systems, and that my body delights in being physical form because of who I am. I am Spirit in form as me. That's the truth of who I am. That's the truth of my physical body. And the truth of the relationships in my life is that this is just a love fest. How can you, as the love of Spirit, the endless love of Spirit, connect with another being who, being a manifestation of the divine, has to be the infinite love of Spirit? How can you come anywhere close to another person and not just turn into a love muffin? It's impossible. So who are you? You are a lover. You are a lover of the divine. As yourself, as everyone in your family, as everyone you've ever known. Oh, I can't love them. Sure you can. You really can. If you step back from the lie that they did anything wrong to you, or they hurt you, or they took something away from you, all of that business of lying, if you move back into who are you, you are Spirit in love right now. And you connect with them, how in the world can you help but experience that love? That's why there's a contract on that house. Because the blocking of it was the blocking of the love of Spirit. And as Spirit moves in our lives, I say it every week, stuff happens. The manifestation of the divine in form is one of prosperity, health, love, joy. All you have to do is let yourself be you, and your life will transform. One of my favorite quotes from Carl Rogers, I think he was called the father of American psychology, is who you are is good enough if you would only be it openly. So if you want to look at that as a personality level, who I am is good enough if I would just go ahead and be myself. I don't want to do that, so don't do it. I want to do that, so go do that. And who I am now is in my genius. Who I am is good enough if I would only be it openly. And when we look at the higher spiritual truth, who I am is Spirit in form as me. I am the divine. If I would only be it openly, then things like peace would be the norm. Love would be a constant. Our bodies would come back into alignment with the health and wholeness that has always been there, and we would have more money than we know what to do with. If we would only be ourselves. And to do that, you have to take a good look at yourself and say, who am I? I remember when I was a kid, I was called the devil's child. I don't know who called me that, but it really stuck. I'm not the devil's child. If I'm going to be a child, it's got to be God's child, and I'd just as soon not be a child, so I'll go ahead and grow up. I am God. I am spirit. I am love. Jesus said that we are the light of the world. Gandhi said that we have to be the change. And Dr. King said that light is the only thing that will overcome darkness. So if you're looking at the world and you're a little concerned, your love is the only thing that will heal it. If you're looking at your bank account and you are a little concerned, your love is the only thing that will heal it. If you are looking at your marriage or your house or your dog or your job or your car, your love is the only thing that will heal it, because that's the truth of you. And when you are who you are, the life reflects that perfectly. It's not an easy path to be awake spiritually. For a lot of people, it's much easier to just stay in anger and resentment and judgment and to watch things going on in the world and point their finger and play the game that they're separate, they had nothing to do with it. The truth is that there's only one, and that everything that's happening is a reflection of us, whether it's the us of me, or it's the us of us here, or whether it's the collective us of every being on the planet. Everything that is happening is a reflection of us. So who are we? And if I can't see God in you, I can't see God in me. And if I can't see God in me, I can't see God in you. And so then I play the game that we're separate and that other people are doing things that I don't have anything to do with and that I can't do anything about. And I say that's a lie. Who you are is God let loose on planet Earth. You are the light of the world. And it is your light that will overcome the darkness as soon as you become the change that you want to see in the world. I know who you are, and so it is.